Namaste and welcome, Sat Sri Akal, Assalamu Alaikum to Yin. So I've got my bolster ready, so you can already see that I'm going to invite you to have available your bolster or a large pillow or large cushions, and then something that you can perhaps place underneath your bolster or pillow so it lifts. I'm using blocks, but you can also just stack up several smaller cushions or a low footstool, and we'll use that in a moment, but not quite yet. Let's come on to our sukhandhīṃ, our comfortable seat. Our practice today is a practice of the winter solstice yin practice. We are in the cold moon and full moon and leading towards the winter solstice. So our practice is going to be drawing upon the element of water, and we'll be working on the kidney and the urinary bladder meridians to represent this yielding quality of water which flows, which penetrates, which changes from softness to hardness. We're going to have the mudra for Shiva, and it's called the Shiva Linga Mudra. So this is a mudra that I encourage us to use during winter. Interlace all of your fingers. And then, looking at your thumbs are extended. What I would like you to do is take the left thumb and wrap it round the back of the right thumb so that the right thumb stands up. So you can see that here are my two thumbs, and I take the left thumb and wrap it behind my right thumb, tuck it in underneath the right index, and then my left thumb is extended. This is the Shiva Linga Mudra, and Shiva represents the darkness, consciousness, the energy field or the energy source of divinity into which we can retreat or withdraw. Shiva represents that inert energy, which is then sparked into action or into life by creativity. The winter solstice in particular is a time for rebirth, reawakening, renewal. Closing your eyes or softening your gaze here in Sukhasana. Hands in Shiva Linga Mudra, all of your fingers interlaced, left thumb wrapped around the back of the right thumb and right thumb extended to represent the energy of the heat, the warmth, the sun, which will begin to rise and lengthen as we move beyond the winter solstice. Opening our practice by chanting Om 3 times, offering each Om to the earth, to the sun, and to the moon. Inhale fully to prepare. Om. 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 The mantra for today is the Mahamrityunjaya Mantra. This is the mantra of healing. We'll do call and response, and then together. It translates into we meditate on Shiva, the knower of past, present, and future, who permeates and nourishes all like a fragrance or essence, As in due time, the stem of the cucumber weakens and the gourd is freed from the vine. So release us from attachment to the material and liberate us into the eternal. And this mantra is a mantra of healing, nourishing, replenishment. Om tryámbakaṃ yajāmahe sughandhīṃ puṣṭivardhánam urvārukam bandhānān mṛtyor mukṣīya māmṛtāt. Call and response, one line at a time. Om tryámbakaṃ yajāmahe. Om tryámbakaṃ yajāmahe. Sughandhīṃ puṣṭivardhánam. Sughandhīṃ puṣṭivardhánam. Urvārukam bandhānān. Urvārukam bandhānān. Mṛtyor mukṣīya māmṛtāt. Mṛtyor mukṣīya māmṛtāt. Together. Om tryámbakaṃ yajāmahe. Sughandhīṃ puṣṭivardhánam. Urvārukam bandhānān. Mṛtyor mukṣīya māmṛtāt. Om. Release your hands. Let's rotate. Shake the wrists. Flex and unflex the fingers and toes. We're going to start by standing up, my friends. We're going to start off by doing some tapping. And we're going to then come into dangling. So let's stand up for this bit of the practice here, my friends. Just tie my belt here. So I'm wearing my socks to keep warm here today. So we're working on the kidney and the bladder, the urinary bladder meridians. So let's think about the yang and the yin. The yin aspect is the kidney meridian, and that starts at the sole of the foot and works its way up on the inside of the ankle, the inside of the calf, inside of the thigh, up through the groin, and then through the middle of the body all the way, and ends sort of around the chest here. And then the bladder starts on the inner corner of the eye, works, bladder meridian works, and this is the yang one, works its way up through the forehead, down the right over the back of the head, down the back, and then travels in parallel down the spine, and then sort of goes to the middle of the spine and then reaches out down the buttocks, the back of the leg here, and there's a little concentration here at the back of the knee, and travels down the back of the calf, all the way down to the little toe. So we'll tap along the roots, and you can do either one half of the body or you can do both halves of the body. It matters not. If you have ever had acupuncture, you will know that often the needles are placed on one side of the body because they have a impact on the mirror aspect of the body. So let's start with the kidney, and we'll start by tapping at the sole of the foot here. And we're working with the kidney and the bladder meridians because we're working on the element of water, which is the element for the season of winter. So tap along the sole here, and I'm using all 4 fingers of my hand here. You can chant your mantra, the Mahamrityunjaya Mantra, if you know it well. Or you can connect with mantra in your own home language, for example. And you may say, may I be warm and safe. May I explore the inner peace and stillness of winter. So connect with the qualities associated with the winter. Let's work around the ankle, and I like to spend a little bit of time on the ankle, circulating the ankle, and then working along the inside of the calf, just where behind the sort of shin bone is, all the way to the inside of the knee. And here you might want to fold your fingers and tap along the inner thigh, around the groin, and then middle of the abdomen, all the way along the neck. And I like to travel all the way back down. And this time I'm going to go to the right side of the groin and then tap down the inner thigh of the right leg, all the way down the calf. Spend some time around the ankle, into the sole of the foot. And I like to spend a bit of time at the sole of the foot here. So that's the focus on the yin pairing of these meridians, working on the kidney here. Let's switch over to the bladder. So the bladder, we're starting off at the inner eye. And then work your way up the eyebrow center, top of the crown, back of the head, back of the neck. And you're not going to be able to reach the back here, but wherever your hands can reach down the lower back, around the kidneys. And I like to use my fingers here around the buttocks. And then the back of the thigh here, back of the legs. So again, use whatever feels comfortable. We just want gentle, sort of relatively firm tapping, but not hard tapping. Spend a little bit of time at the back of the knee and work your way down to the ankle. And then let's travel all the way down to the little toe. And then travel from the little toe, and let's retrace going up the back of the leg again. Back of the knee. Buttocks. And then when we get to the spine here, so we can reach up the back of the neck. Top of the crown, eyebrow center, and then let's go to the opposite inner eye. So I'm going to go to the left eye here, and then travel back up, back to the lower back. And this time I'm going to travel down the left leg, back of the thigh, back of the knee. Spend a little bit of time there. May I honor the beauty of this winter season. May I be aware of the growth beneath the ground, beyond the sight, all that is hidden. Sole down to the little foot rather, and then back along from the little toe, so ankle, back of the calf, back of the knee, back of the thigh, buttocks, lower back, upper back, back of the neck, back of the head, top of the crown, back to the inner corner of the eyes. So that's our practice of tapping, gentle tapping to stimulate and bring awareness to the meridian channels, the channels along which the chi or the pran, the vital life force energy flows. Think of these as rivers of, or channels of water, energy. We're moving into dangling here. So you may have, I might just move this so that I can use my pillow there. We're going to dangle. Stand with feet hip distance away. From the hips here, let's hinge forward. You may have a soft bend or deep bend to the knees. And allow your crown to reach forward, down towards the earth here. I've got my bolster and my pillow here, so I can rest my head on the bolster or pillow. You may dangle forward and rest on something, or you may choose to allow your head to hang freely here. Option to take hold of opposite elbows, or allow your hands, the back of your hands, to rest on the earth here. So you can see here we're working along the back of the legs, walking along the here, runs along the back of the body is the urinary bladder meridians. So this dangling pose, Uttanasana, this forward fold, is working on stimulating the channels along which water flows. Dangle here as we move towards the winter solstice. The winter solstice is the shortest day, the longest night. Up until this point in the wheel of the year, we have seen the sun sink lower and lower in the sky. This move in towards what some perceive as the bleakness or the emptiness of the season of winter, when the trees have shed their leaves and the land becomes more barren seemingly. Know that in season of winter, more is hidden beneath the surface, beyond what we can see. The roots below. See, the winter of season is when fertility of nature, of the land, the creativity, creation, the field of potentiality is resting in order to burst forth into renewal. One more minute here in dangling. Allow the crown to reach closer to the earth. If you are using a support, you may wish to release the support. As the weight of the upper body is drawn down into the earth, allow the energy, the weight to flow towards the earth and release and let go and surrender with this asana. Explore the subtle edges of this asana. One breath here. And from here, my friends, we're going to move with care, because you've had your head below your heart for some time now. So I'm going to invite you to bend into your knees and come down onto your knees. Take your knees as wide as your mat. We're going to come into a child's pose here, forward fold in child's pose. So again, I'm going to use my bolster and my for support here. Knees wide, big toes touching, and then let's come and rest on our bolster or pillow. Turn onto one ear. Allow your bolster, the pillow, the other to hold you here. Winter is the season of support. Sorry, what's the matter? Rest here in the deep night, the dark night, the night of the longest sigh, soulful night, sacred night, night of the longest dreams. Turn your ear and come onto the left ear. Deep night, dark night, night of the longest sigh, soulful night, sacred night, night of the longest dreams. withdrawing into winter creates space, sacred space for healing, nourishment, repair. With each breath, allow the sigh to be long, releasing and surrendering. Surrender into the softness here. Surrender into stillness. Pause. Reflect. And bear witness. With the next breath, my friends, let's inhale and rise up. Come directly onto your seat and bring the soles of your feet together in Kanasana, butterfly pose. Let's sit tall for a few breaths, and then we are going to fold forward as usual. So we have our pillow and bolster with us. And I'm going to bring my bolster into the space that I've created, this diamond space, and then use my bolster, my bricks, to rest my pillow on. So I created a T shape here, and I put my bricks on top. Oops. I just certainly disturbed the dogs there. But I'm going to put it the other way around because it seems a bit unsteady like that. So I've done an upside down T. As you exhale, I'm going to fold forward. Now, depending on how much space you need and how close you need your bolster, remember you can use all of the props you have to create this support for you. Then when you're ready, fold forward and rest your eyebrow center on your bolster or pillow or folded blanket here. Now, in Kanasana here, you can see and feel that we're working on the kidney meridian. So we're now working on the inside of the legs. The folding forward, we're working on the journey of the kidney meridian through the center of the body. Tucking the chin. Make generous use of your props, your bolsters, cushions, pillows, blankets. During the season of coldness, we want to create a feeling of warmth and comfort in this cave to which we have retreated. You may chant your Mahamrityunjaya Mantra. Something that you may choose to do is to have a recording playing very softly in the background of the mantra on repeat. If you are not familiar with the word, practice of yin during winter, I invite you to light a candle, dim the lights, use soft light from the lamps around you. Create a feeling of a cocoon in your home. From Baddha Kanasana in a moment, we're going to rise. So on the inhale, friends, rise up. Our transitions are mindful and are tender. Let's bring our legs round. And I'm going to invite you to bring your right hip up against your bolster or pillow here. We're going to come into Mṛtyur, our twist, the rotation from this pose here. So the right hip is up against the bolster or pillow. Remember, you keep that angle. That angle can be closer to the ground or a little bit higher from the ground. The right shin is parallel to one edge of the mat. The left shin is parallel to the other edge of the mat. Create this zigzag with the legs here. Really deep working on our lower body meridians, kidney and the bladder meridian here. Lengthen, and then as you exhale, turn your heart over to your pillow or bolster, and then release there. And rest your right ear onto the bolster. Palms face up. You may also choose to turn your left ear onto the bolster. This creates a deeper, more intense twist if you wish to take this option. So Mṛtyur, deer rotation pose. Left or right ear on the bolster, depending on how much of a twist you wish to create. Today I'm quoting the words of Mary Ferracino and the Winter Solstice Prayer. Cold night, holy night, night of unfurling desires, womb of the world, birther of hope, bringer of peace and goodwill. Cold night, holy night, night of the unfurling desires, womb of the world, birther of hope, bringer of peace and goodwill. Ask yourself, what are your desires? What is it that you wish to reawaken in the spring? How, over the next few weeks, as the days begin to turn and become longer and the nights turn and become shorter, can you nourish, feed, offer sustenance to your dreams, your desires, and allow those seeds of potentiality, of creativity to germinate and grow and flourish? The life-giving sun will become ever longer, ever stronger, ever brighter, ever warmer. Inhale, my friends, to rise up from Mṛtyur. Remember, we're going to now turn in the other direction. So begin to turn the lower back towards your bolster and then bring the left hip to the base of your pillow or bolster here. And now your legs. The left leg is parallel to one side. The right leg is parallel to the short side here. So that the left hip is up against the bolster. Turn the heart and then melt down onto your pillow or bolster, or directly onto the earth if you wish, my friends. Remember, we don't have to use bolsters, although I encourage and invite that additional comfort and support. Right ear or left ear to the bolster, depending on the depth of the twist you wish to experience. Pray for all good things. that suffering for all will end, that life will thrive and generosity reign in the hearts of all humankind, that joy will rise and children will fly on the wings of prosperity and joy. Pray, pray for all good things, that suffering for all will end, that life will thrive and generosity reign in the hearts of all humankind. The joy will rise and children will fly on the wings of prosperity and joy. This season of rebirth, this in the West, in Europe, the pagan, Druid, Celtic period became Christianized. And so season of midwinter, this reawakening, this rebirthing, the return of the sun has been infused with the beliefs and faiths of religion. And yet this in the Northern Hemisphere, this season of earth-based people with earth-based wisdom traditions has always had this essence of human understanding, that this is a season in which in the Northern Hemisphere, in the northern latitudes, that as the sun is lower in the sky, it begins to lose the heat, the brightness, the warmth, and the nights become longer, that this is a season in which the fruition will take time, that the need for withdrawal is essential for renewal, and that fruition will come in the springtime. This fruition will happen when the sun begins to rise higher and the days become longer and the sun becomes warmer, brighter, more radiant. This is about earth-based traditions, wisdom traditions, synchronized with the harmony of nature. 3 more breaths here, Meridiasana to the left. Inhale and rise up, moving slowly, mindfully, with tender care. And then let's come back by turning to center, lower back towards the bosom. Extend your legs long. Tuck your toes, coming to the Kanasana. So now, we fortunately have what we need here. So I'm going to turn around and what I'm going to ask you to do, if you wish to stay where you are, we're going to come into puṣṭivardhánam or caterpillar pose. We're going to use our bolster or large pillow for this asana. Now for you, my friends, the choices are legs extended, place your bolster or large pillow lengthways along your legs. Perhaps you place some cushions or pillows here to create a little bit of height. We're going to fold forward and rest our head on our bolster or pillows or cushions in a variation forward fold here. Another alternative for puṣṭivardhānam here in the yin variation is to place the bolster underneath the knees and fold forward here and rest again. Again, you can bring some support to your eyebrow center by placing cushions or a folded blanket to your knees so that when you fold forward, your eyebrow center is supported. You can recognize that all of the asanas that we practice are hatha asanas, from the practice of hatha yoga. What turns a yang practice into a yin practice is the stillness with which you then embrace the asana. We hold them for longer. This is the ta in hatha. Ha is the heat, the dynamic aspect of yoga. Ka is the cool, still aspect of yoga. And the practice of yin has developed from an understanding that yang and yin, ha and ka, heat and coolness, dynamic and stillness are interconnected, intertwined within the composition of nature, the composition of us as beings of matter, as beings combined from all of the elements. In your puṣṭivardhánam, in your puṣṭivardhānam and forward fold, experience here the energy channels running along the back of the legs, along the spine. What are we working on there? We're working on the bladder meridian, the yang aspect. We're cooling the yang aspect. This connection of the legs together is working on the yin aspect, the kidney. Oh, hear our plea. This silent insight. When the moon is round in the sky, when hopes are high and eyes are wide, with delight and audacity, may love prevail tonight and always, leading us back to source, that divine source. Oh, hear our plea, this silent insight. When the moon is round in the sky, when hopes are high and eyes are wide, with delight and audacity, may love prevail tonight and always leading us back to our source. Pause and be still in the silence of the winter darkness, under the full moon. Wrap yourselves up in winter's cloak, in the embrace of comfort, blankets, lights in the home and fires burning. 3 more breaths here in puṣṭivardhānam, my friends. As you inhale, moving with mindful tenderness, rise up. Remove your bolster or pillows, whether they're resting on top of your legs or underneath your knees. Take a moment here. And then let's open our legs out to move into dragonfly. Kanasana. Kanasana. So, again, what we're going to do is make sure that we have some props that we can use. Your bolsters, your pillows and cushions. Create whatever you need to bring the earth up towards you. So you may place bolsters. You can also use your furniture here. For comfort here, Just going to just check here that you're feeling comfortable here. I'm getting a little bit of cramp in my right leg, so I'm going to just hug that right leg in. If you feel that you get cramp, make sure you hug the leg in so that you feel comfortable here. That's beautiful. So if you sometimes experience cramp, because we're holding the poses for a long time, when we transition and move a little too quickly, we can experience a sense of crampness or a little bit of tightness in an area. So take your time there and come back. So when you have that little crampness, rub the area, sort of hug it in, and it will help. Going to fold forward in our dragonfly. So here you can see we're working now very clearly on our kidney meridians that run along the inside of the legs. Fold forward. Place your elbows and forearms on your bolster or pillows. You can keep your arms crossed, and another option here is to interlace your fingers. So yeah, and then wrap the left thumb around the back of the right thumb. So you come into your Shiva Linga Mudra. And this is the mudra that I'm going to take here actually. So when we interlace, we're going to interlace the right index over the left index, and then wrap the left thumb around the right thumb. And then we have our Shiva Linga Mudra here. May we dance with the dark without hesitation or fear. May we dance with the dark without hesitation or fear, and savor the promise of plenty. Deep night, dark night, night of the longest sigh. May our weary hearts stay vigilant and receptive to all that is loving and dear. May we dance with the dark without hesitation or fear, and savor the promise of plenty. Deep night, dark night, night of the longest sigh. May our weary hearts stay vigilant and receptive to all that is loving and dear. With gratitude to Mary Saracino for the winter solstice prayer. When we work with the element of water and focus on the kidney and urinary bladder meridians or channels, we are working with the emotion of fear, fear of the unknown, fear of the dark, fear of all that is unhidden, unseen, unheard. Buried deep within that is the seed of growth, of potentiality. It's buried deep within the earth, below the ground. And it is this seed that will grow and rise up. So if you look at our mudra that we're adopted, the Shiva Linga Mudra, that thumb, when folded into the palm and then grows out, represents this growth that arises from within the depths, within what is hidden. 3 full breaths here in Upavishta Kanasana, dragonfly pose. Whichever variation you've taken, my friends, whether it's with your mudra and on your forearms, or whether you are resting your eyebrows center on the backs of your forearms or your pillow. Inhale, release your hands and arms, rise up. And again, remember this mindful transition with care, with tenderness. Let's remove our blocks. Take your hands to the back of your knees and give the back of your knees a little rub here. So remember, here at the back of the knees, we have sort of concentration of mama points, of where the route along which the bladder meridian travels. Draw your knees in. Bring your knees together. Let's hug everything in here for a moment. And we're going to come down to lying on the earth here, my friends. We're going to move into lying down twist. So keep your bolster or large pillow ready. Let's place it on the left side to start, the right side rather, to start with. If you want to have a little cushion for your head, very low, flat cushion, my friends. Nothing too high. Maybe you have a blanket to cover yourself with as well. You may get cold here. Just make sure I have lots of space. So recline onto the earth here. Your bolster or pillow or cushions are on the right side. Legs are extended. Allow the feet to fall out for a moment. And hug in the left knee here. Hugging it in towards the heart. And then when you're ready, we're going to take the right hand to the outside of the left knee and roll onto the left hip very slowly and bring the left leg onto our bolster or pillow. So Supta Matsyendrasana, sometimes also known as tryámbakaṃ. Left arm can here reach overhead. This right hand can rest on the heart or on your abdomen. So left hand overhead, you can place a pillow or cushion under the back of the hand. If there's some way, if it feels uncomfortable to have it directly on the earth, lift the earth. This right hand can stay on the abdomen, the heart, or the left knee. Close your eyes here. Breathe deeply into the abdomen. Deep healing taking place here. Om tryámbakaṃ yajāmahe sughandhīṃ puṣṭivardhánam urvārukam bandhānān mṛtyor mukṣīya māmṛtāt. May we meditate on Shiva, knower of the past, present, and future. One who permeates, nourishes, replenishes all in the universe like a fragrance or an essence. As in time the cucumber weakens and falls from the vine, and the gourd is freed, so too are we released from attachment and liberated into the eternal. This process of winter allows us to practice non-attachment by retreating, by withdrawing from all that we know, from all that has been. And then be still in this place, in this silence, in this place of quietude, this place in which we can dream. This place in which we begin to lay down seeds for new growth, new opportunities, new beginnings, as this turning point in the calendar of nature, in nature's pattern of seasonal change, this rhythmic pattern of birth, of sustenance, of death, of rebirth, and so on. This is our opportunity to be in repose. To be at a standstill. And in this moment of stillness, we heal, we embrace courage, we yield, we surrender, we draw in to the cave of the heart, half of the home, cold sunlight, the bright stars, the full moon watching us. My friends, we're going to move into a twist on the other side. This reclined, lying down twist. Inhale and turn back to center. Hug in that left knee one more time. And let's take the left hand to the outside of the left foot to the little toe and rub the little toe there. Place the right hand on the top of the right thigh. Half happy baby. Ardha-anand-valasana. Sole of the foot. So here, the way I have my hand, I have my fingertips pressing on the sole of the foot, the thumb on the little toe. This point of beginning and end for the kidney and bladder meridians. Slightly tuck in the chin, so the back of the neck is lengthened here. Remember, we have a pathway here at the back of the neck. There's a parallel pathway for the meridians. Let's release that left foot and extend the left leg long, moving slowly here, my friends. Take your pillow or bolster and gently roll it over the body onto the left side. And hug in the right knee here. Take the left hand to the outside of the right knee, gently roll onto the left hip and bring the right leg to rest on your bolster and pillow, which is lying on the left of you. Right arm can reach overhead, back of the hand on the earth or on a cushion. Left hand can stay on the right knee, you can bring it to rest on the lower abdomen, on the heart, wherever you wish, my friends, and close your eyes here, if not already. Supta Matsimrasana, Jatara Parivartanasana, lying down twist. Om tryámbakaṃ yajāmahe, sughandhīṃ puṣṭivardhánam, urvārukam bandhānān, mṛtyor mukṣīya māmṛtāt. Om. In this midwinter, if you have an opportunity to rest with yoga nidra or a gong bath, I invite you to take those opportunities. Two of my most beneficial practices and offerings. For me, the season of winter, the depth, the darkness, the quietude, the solitude is an opportunity to heal, repair, recover, so that as the sun returns and the hope returns, I am able to turn towards it with an embrace. For now, I seek solace. Here in your lying down, reclined twist, my friends. Allow the earth to hold you. Invite yourself into surrender, softness, stillness. Three more breaths here. And as we move towards the culmination of our practice together, I invite you to come into Shavasana. Oh, actually, before we do that, we must do, I forgot we did half happy baby. Let's make sure we do half happy baby on this side. So as you inhale, move back to neutral spine and hug in the right knee to the heart. Take your hand to the outside of your right foot and place the left hand on the top of the left thigh. Press or massage the center of the foot and the little toe. Half happy baby, Ardhanand Alasana. When you're ready, my friends, let's release the foot and hug it in the right knee towards the heart, and then extend the legs long. For your Shavasana, I invite you to perhaps rest the back of your knees on a bolster or a pillow. Cover yourself with a blanket.